Ang daming ano eh, ang daming pananakit na nangyari, ang daming tortures na nangyari. Alam niyo ba kung ilan yung namatay sa inyo?
On our part, Your Honor, wala pong hindi po namin alam.
Sa inyo po, sa Bamban.
Your Honor, wala rin po akong alam na kung meron na tayo.
I-penalize at parusahan itong mga ahensya na ito, Mr. Chair. So be it. Otherwise, this country, mapupunta lang to sa basura. Thank you so much.
Okay, maraming salamat po. You extended 2 minutes and a half, no? So that will be subtracted on the next hearing. Okay, thank you, Congressman Gomez. Now, the chair would like to recognize my friend. Baka naman sabihin, walang my friend. Congressman Romy Acop. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just like to state that I will go for the second round.
Because I told him to limit his query sa 5 minutes lang. Congressman, Acop, will you allow Congressman Keith Flores to have some manifestation?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In line with the manifestation of, or the statement of Congressman Richard Gomez, Mr. Chair, there is a similar establishment in Lagundi, Mexico, Pampanga, which has not yet been inspected. Now, if we want to put to the test the power of the local government unit, including the committee's power, maybe I move, Mr. Chair, that we do an ocular inspection of this facility, Mr. Chair, in Lagundi, Mexico, Pampanga, which has a similar size, Mr. Chair.
Similar size?
Yes, of Porac and...
I think that is being investigated under the, no?
Yes, but Mr. Chair, they are not being allowed to go
I
in.
agree. I agree.
Yes,
So
Mr. Chair.
we will have a, we'll,
Together with the local government unit,
yes,
Mr.
so we
Chair,
will be,
and the other agencies that may be involved.
bibisitahin natin.
Yes, Mr.
Okay, go, sige, thank you. So there's a motion that we will be having an ocular inspection on that area that was mentioned by Congressman Keith Flores. Any second the motion? There's a second the motion. Duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the said motion is now approved by the Committee on Public Order and Committee on Games and Amusement. Go ahead, Congressman Acop. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Quiet lamang po, ha?
The basis of this investigation is the order of our speaker. Tama po ba? Mr. Chair, tama po? Yes. May I know, kanino po ba ang responsibilidad yung POGO na may licenses?
Chairman, you can, Chairman Pagcor.
Yes, sa amin pong responsibilidad yung meron pong lisensya na inisyo po ng PAGCOR.
Yung pong walang lisensya, kanino po kaya ang may responsibilidad nun?
Congressman ako, hindi ko na po masasagot yun dahil hindi na po sakop ng PAGCOR yun.
Pero, Mr. Chairman, would you agree with me that POGO with licenses would be under the jurisdiction of PAGCOR? And would you agree na yung POGOs without licenses would be under the jurisdiction of law enforcement?
I would agree, Congressman Ako.
Now, may I ask the law enforcement agencies, sino sa inyo ang Office of Primary Responsibility para habulin yung mga illegal POGOs? Insofar as your jurisdictions are concerned.
PNP. Anybody from PNP can reply with a definite answer.
For POGO operations, actually sir, whether it is illegal or legal, kaya lang may ginagawang mga illegal, we have an inter-PNP operations being conducted. Recently, it is the CIDG leading the operations, and we also have personnel from the anti-cybercrime group supporting in terms of technical support po, sir.
That is only one aspect of law enforcement. Di po ba? If you look at it, most of the arrestees, or persons arrested, are of foreign nationality. Paano po sila nakapasok dito sa ating bansa? So, hindi lang kayo, hindi nyo responsibilidad yun, di po ba? So,
Tama po,
ang
sir.
pinapakita ko lang po sa atin ay wala pong agency who would be considered as the Office of Primary Responsibility para mag-coordinate ng efforts para matigil ang illegal pogo. Di po ba? Meron ba?
Totoo po, sir.
Totoo. And maybe that is the reason why we're having a hard time, or government is having a hard time, na patigilin ang illegal pogo. Because hindi lang trabaho ng pulis to eh. From the numerous questions and queries of my colleagues, kailangan ito ng maraming interagency approach. Oh, but nobody is taking the cudgel kung sino man ang maging in charge. So, ang approach natin, parang namamaril tayo ng baril na shotgun to whom it may concern. Ganun po ba? Samantala, ang kalaban natin dito ay illegal pogos. So, ewan ko kung anong government agency ang magkukuha nito. But that is basically the problem that we have now. How do we stop illegal pogos? Mr. Chair, may I know if the chairman, Altenco, has somebody who has been with PAGCOR even before his time?
Si Attorney Jessa Fernandez po, nakasama ko, was with PAGCOR prior to my assumption into office.
Thank you. Now, before PRRD came into the presidency, how many pogos did we have?
Sir, prior to the assumption of the president, sir, wala pa po, sir.
Wala pa.
Apo. PAGCOR po doesn't issue offshore gaming licenses at that time po.
Export processing zones, di po ba? Yes. Pero nagkaroon ng issue yan eh. Ano yung issue na involve yung kumpanya ni Mr. Bobby Ongpin? I think he had an issue with PAGCOR, if I remember it right.
Congressman Acop, yung pong kumpanya ni Roberto Ongpin ay hindi po Pogo kung hindi po isang online gaming operator. Ang pangalan po nun ay PhilWeb.
Yes, PhilWeb.
Opo.
Okay. So, there were no pogos. Para lang maliwanag
Opo.
yung kuha natin.
Opo.
There were no pogos before PRRD.
Yes, sir.
Now, during the time of PRRD, how many pogos existed?
During the time of then PRRD, nakapag-issue po ang then PAGCOR board ng 298 licenses. At its peak, 298 po. Inabot.
298.
Opo.
And out of this 298, nung nawala po natapos yung termino ni PRRD, kayo na po ang pumasok.
Opo, nag-assume po ako ng pagiging chairman August 2022 po.
Now, PBBM's time, how many legal pogos have you are existing? Five?
Doon po sa 298, nag-purge po kami, natitira po ngayon ay 45.
So, ang natitira po ay 253 na illegal pogos since they have no licenses.
More or less po, kung hindi po talaga naghinto ng kanilang operations, definitely they will be called, they will be deemed illegal. Tama po kayo, 253 po yung na-purge namin. Kaya yun po ang, kung nag-ooperate po lahat yun, yun po ang illegal na numero ngayon ng mga pogo.
And they have documents in the office of PAGCOR since they applied during the time of PRRD.
Meron po.
So we know where they are located.
Yes, sir.
Why are we having a hard time running after them if we know where they are?
Doon po sa pag nagsara po ang mga nasabing pogo, especially hindi po yung tinatawag na hub. Pag binabalikan din po, maski sarado na, para ma-check kung talagang hindi sila nag-ooperate, nakalipat na po sila ng tanggapan. Wala na po sila doon sa original na office na kanilang inuupahan nung mga panahong meron po silang lisensya. Ganun po ang modus nila.
Thank you, Chairman. May I ask the law enforcement agencies, can a POGO exist in a municipality or province without the knowledge of LGU officials?
Your Honor, if you are going to see for example, itong Porac incident as an
Hindi po ako
example.
humihingi na example. Ang sagot po lang doon is yes or no.
Ah,
What is your belief? Can
pag mga
POGO exist in a municipality or in an area without the knowledge of LGU officials?
no sir.
It cannot.
Yes sir, it cannot.
Next question. Can a POGO exist within a municipality without the knowledge of the law enforcement agencies?
Your Honor, can I ask the CIDG regarding this one? Your Honor, even without us knowing, they can still exist.
Hindi nga. Hindi mo sinasagot yung tanong ko, Iho, eh. Can a POGO in a certain municipality exist without the knowledge of law enforcement agencies?
Yes po, sir.
It can exist without
Yes
the
po, sir.
knowledge. May I know the reason why?
Kasi sir, kami kasi sir, on our part, we can only identify whether a particular POGO is doing some illegal activities when there is actually a complaint coming from those inside of that establishment.
Hindi po ba pag for example doon sa Porac o Bamban ba yun? 36 buildings constructed, high-rise buildings. Hindi po nyo hindi unusual sa inyo 'yon? When people in the number of 1,000 would enter a certain area, hindi unusual sa inyo 'yon?
Your Honor, sir, ang ginagawa lang po namin sa PNP, if there
Hindi
are
nga, sagutin mo yung tanong ko. Ang tanong ko lang, sa tingin nyo po ba, bilang law enforcement agencies, pinatayo 36 buildings sa isang lugar. Tapos, araw-araw, 1,000 tao ang pumapasok. Would that be usual or unusual?
yun sir, ang tinitingnan po namin sir, lalo na pag mga
Hindi
gabi.
nga, hindi ko tinatanong kung anong tinitignan mo eh. Sagutin mo yung tanong ko. Is that unusual?
Yes po sir, unusual.
Oh, then that would have caught your attention.
Actually sir, we are conducting our
Did
monitoring.
it catch your attention?
Yes sir.
O bakit hindi kayo nag-imbestiga?
Actually po sir, nag-iimbestiga po kami. Nagpapadala po kami ng mga operatiba namin to verify. Sa case build-up po sir, ang pinaka-importante po doon is there should be somebody who will complain. And normally po, may mga victims po dyan na halimbawa victims of torture lumalapit sa amin. Yun sir ang nagiging basihan namin to apply for a search warrant.
Now, sige. I don't know who will answer this query, the Department of Justice or the law enforcement agencies. Yung hub is composed of 36 buildings, di ba? Tama. Hindi ko alam kung Bamban o Porac, yun lang. Kung mag-a-apply ka ng search warrant, it is mandated that you should specify the address and the building concerned. Di po ba? Hindi pwedeng ay ilagay mo ron is yung location o address ng hub, pero lahat ng building is a search mo. How would you solve that dilemma of the law enforcement agents when they apply for a search warrant?
Your Honor, that was one of our dilemmas and challenges when we began our aggressive operations against these illegal BOGOs.
Hindi, ang tanong ko po is, how do you solve that dilemma?
We be aggressive. We apply as much as possible.
When you say aggressive, what does it mean?
Okay, may I explain, Your Honor?
Yes.
Before, the search warrant we would secure were only for specific parts of buildings. But when we enter the premises and we see that the operation is a single operation, lalo na kung whenever the people we find there, they run to different floors that are not part of the search warrant, we treat it as a single operation and we search the whole building. We justify that on the basis of personal knowledge when we arrive at the site. That's why from that experience, Your Honor, our approach has been to apply for the entire building or the entire compound, which has been successful for both Banban and Porac, where the search warrants that were secured by law enforcement covered the entire compound. And for us, Your Honor, this is something that we will justify, we will fight for. We are aware of the limitation on general warrants, but our position is that that limitation should not apply to these types of enterprises.
Thank you. Yusek Cruz, have there been instances where your application of search warrants or your applications have been denied by the courts?
Yes, sir.
Yes. May I know the reason why your application for search warrants applications have been denied?
Initially, sir, the search warrant was approved. I'm speaking of the Porac Pogo Hub experience. The search warrant was initially approved. And then, nung papunta na kami dun sa area, sir, we were parang pinabalik, sir, yung tropa na there's something wrong with the search warrant that was issued. That our personnel, specifically the CIDG team, has to again pass this cross-examination to be conducted by the judge. And then it was, the next day it was denied. The same judge who issued the search warrant, sir. Yeah.
What's the name of the judge? For the record?
The name of the
Para,
judge.
ano lang, malang natin. Saan ba to? Sa Tarlac o Pampanga?
Judge Belinda Rama, sir. Belinda
Ano yan,
Rama.
sa Pampanga? Or
That's Pampanga. Malolos, Bulacan.
Malolos, Bulacan. O sige, go ahead, Congressman ako.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kaya ko po tinatanong itong mga tanong nito para ipakita na hindi po madali yung paglaban dito eh. I've been in the service also at ganito rin ang problema up to now. Kung titingnan po natin, we look at STL and the bookies. If you look at the records of all the cases filed with the prosecutor's office, karamihan po na-dismiss. Kaya ganito rin ang mangyayari. And that is precisely the reason why these illegal pogos and activities would still continue. Kaya ko tinatanong ang mga ito. Why? Because there's a need for a law or for an agency to be designated to become the OPR or Office of Primary Responsibility. Para alam natin kung saan natin ipipinpoint yung nagkakamali at tamang ginagawa. Tama ba? Diba? Kasi wala eh. As I've said, when an operation or a mission does not have any head, hindi masusunod yung plano, we will not be able to attain the objective. Yun po yung aking point na pinakikita. Now, we go to the issue of this hearing. May I ask the PNP, from 2019, before the pandemic, up to the present, what were the crimes associated with the POGOs?
We have a record from the Directorate for Investigation and Detective Management po, sir. We have, in terms of Access Devices Regulation Act of 1998, we have 13. Meron tayong fraudulent transactions, 2. Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 or Republic Act number 10175, meron tayong 2. Then meron tayong PD 1602 in relation to cybercrime law, 4. 1602, merong 1. Republic Act 11332, meron ding 1. Kidnapping and serious illegal detention, meron 2. Meron din tayong another serious illegal detention, 2. Republic Act 9208, 3. Republic Act 10591, 1. Meron ding isang robbery for a total of 32 cases. These are cases actually investigated by the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, Your Honor.
Pursuant to the data given me by the Philippine National Police, from January 2019 to June 30, 2024, there were 125 POGO-related incidents. Would you confirm that?
Actually, sir, that is the data from the IDM. What I mentioned earlier was the data from CIDG. Yes, sir.
When I speak of POGO related crimes, hindi ko naman sinasabi kung ano sa CIDG, kung ano sa AKG or ano eh. May I know if you are officially the representative of the PNP?
Yes po, sir. I am the one being used to represent the PNP right now.
And what is the basis of your representation?
There was a memorandum coming from our chief of the directorial staff to make me the OPR of this meeting,
Could you
hearing
please,
this
could you please
afternoon.
inform your TCDS that in the next hearing, yun pong DIDM, which is the Office of Primary Responsibility regarding crime incidents, and the CIDG dapat ang umattend dito? Pakisabi lang sa TCDS ninyo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kasi sila ang nakakalam nito eh. Supposing I asked you, what happened to the 9 bodies of foreign nationals found doon sa malapit sa Porac? Would you know how to answer that?
Right now po, Your Honor, I cannot answer that one. I believe it should be the Directorate for Investigation and Detective Management.
Of all the crimes na sinasabi, how many victims were there? Of the 125 POGO-related incidents, how many victims were there?
Your Honor, we have a total of 5,792.
Well, sa akin, 5,801. And what would be the nationalities of the suspects in these 125 incidents?
Based on our available data, we have for foreign nationals, we have 1,927 Chinese, 2,314 may Filipinos din pala, sir. And then we have 23 Malaysians, Myanmar, 192 Malaysians, 29 Taiwanese, 659 Vietnamese. We have one Japanese national, 121 Thai nationals, 382 Indonesian nationals, 69 Nepalese, 47 Burmese, 6 Bhutanese, isang Moroccan, 2 Indians, 5 Singaporeans, 4 Yemeni, 2 Pakistani, 2 Africans,
Yes,
isang-
yes, yes. Karamihan foreigners, right? And most of them from China.
Yes po, sir.
Yes. May kung verify nyo kung sila po ay may, paano sila nakapasok dito sa ating bansa?
We will verify this one, sir, with other agencies.
Hindi ba ito crimes related to Bogo since 2019 to June 30 of 2024, Iho? Hindi man lang nyo verify kung they entered this country legally or illegally. Di ba? Kasi kung kayo ang nag-iimbestiga, dapat tingnan ninyo lahat yun. Tama? Did they possess the necessary documents in order to be able to work in this country?
Your Honor, sir, actually we have the IACAT. This is an interagency body. Nandito na rin na taga-immigration. And all these matters, actually, lumalabas po sir ito sa meetings of our IACAT.
Sinong membro ng PNP sa IACAT?
We have from CIDG, from the IDM,
And who is the head of this?
the DOJ po, sir.
DOJ. Would that be true?
It's true, Your Honor. We have regular meetings to monitor our existing operations and plan future operations.
And may I know why hindi nyo nakikita kung merong proper documents itong mga ito? Both the victims and those operating na foreigners?
Nakikita po namin, Your Honor, at kasama po yun doon sa mga kasong iniimbestiga namin, yung propriety ng mga documents nila.
Yung alin?
Yun.
And how many of this number would have papers, legal papers to work in this country?
We'll have to defer to Bureau of Immigration or PAGCOR for those
Akala ko
details.
tinitake up nyo sa IACAT. I just heard that.
We take up specific operations, Your Honor. Yung big picture, madami po talaga to Your Honor.
So, for example, in this hearing, tinatanong na namin yung mga datos na ito, i-refer nyo pa kung saan-saan.
Pasensya na, Your Honor. But specific po yung operations namin at nakita nyo naman po masilimuot ng problema. So, but mapaprovide po namin yan.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Wala namang mangyayari dun sa tatanong ko
Okay.
Kasi it only shows, Mr. Chair, na wala pong
records.
Wala pong OPR yung nagdadirect ng operations na ito.
Yeah.
Yun lang po ang nakikita ko ngayon. At kung walang nagdidirect ng operation na ito, yung campaign natin against illegal pogos, I think will take a long time. Marami pong salamat, Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you, Congressman Romy Acop. And I would like to remind the members of this committee that we did not prepare for merienda and dinner. So please limit your questions, no? Para at least we can all go home. Congresswoman
Mr. Chair.
Luistra.
In relation to...
Then after which, Congressman Plato via Zoom. Sige, go ahead.
In relation to the interpellations of the Honorable Acop, do we have available data about the illegal pogos?
Yes, we have. The illegal pogos that were mentioned a while ago by PAGCOR and at the same time by Yusek Gilbert Cruz is now within the possession of the chairman. And these are all identified 407 illegal ano ba to, illegal pogos ba to? Masabi natin gano'n? Illegal pogos.
So they are corporations, Mr. Chair?
These are all, corporation given business permits by the different LGUs. And that's the reason why we wanted the LGUs to be here, the Liga, para we will be turning this over to them together with the PAOK-TF, with the PNP, the PAGCOR, helping together, no?
Mr. Chair, in line with the principle of piercing the veil of corporate entity,
Yeah.
may I move that we direct the Securities and Exchange Commission to provide us copy of their GIS and articles of incorporation?
So we will be asked, I think the SEC is here, di ba?
We will
Andito ang
provide,
SEC, di ba?
We will provide.
You will provide, you don't know yet kung ano ipoprovide.
We can provide.
You can provide, but don't tell us that you will provide because I'm not giving you yet the copies of this illegal all of these were given to us by PAGCOR and by kay Yusek Gilbert muna. And di ba kanina kino-confirm ko kung tama talaga lahat to. And then this is something that is confidential and yet hindi pa po namin maibigay sa inyo. Probably in due time, in secrecy siguro, we will be asking the SEC to give us all the details. Meron pa tayong details dito ng corporation na nakalagay sa 407? Yung iba, but not yet complete.
Yes, sir.
Were you able to ask the SEC about the corporations?
We are in constant coordination, sir, with the SEC as to the formulation, sir, of those documents.
Nandito na sa lahat?
Some of them, sir.
O sige,
But
we will be
can
meeting
ask
na lang.
the
Yeah,
SEC.
we will be meeting na lang confidentially para to discuss this matter because what we wanted also is the DILG to be present in order to see the culpability of non-action by the different LGUs on this matter. Kasi kung pababayaan natin ang PAOK-TF, PAGCOR saka PNP lamang kikilos, hindi natin masasawat atong 407 na to. And reminding also the PNP that this 407 identified illegal, sabihin na natin illegal pogos that is located in the different municipalities and cities, meron silang sarili-sariling COP, Chief of Police. We need them also, and mayors. And the Romy Acop, please.
Very simple lang, Mr. Chair, dahil hindi ko nakita kanina eh. May I ask Chairman Al, your governing law is Republic Act 9487, right?
Oh, hindi na ako matatanong.
Yes, Your Honor.
It does not specifically state na kayo ang may jurisdiction sa POGO operations.
Ikaw.
There is no specific mention of POGO
Thank
in
you.
such.
And it was slightly amended, or your tax provisions in your charter were amended by Republic Act 11590.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, if I read it right, yung jurisdiction nyo over POGO operations came about because of Executive Order number 13 promulgated by then President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Tama po ba?
Tama po kayo, Your Honor.
Ngayon. So, the advent of POGO started nung pinirmahan itong Executive Order number 13.
Yes, Your Honor.
To stop POGO operations, bawiin lang ni PBBM to.
I believe so. If a new executive order will be issued by the current president, then
Thank you.
that would be.
The last question, Chairman Al.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there or have you received reports or is there a possibility na yung may-ari ng ng legal POGO say may illegal POGO rate?
We are not closing the fact or the possibility that meron din po. Kaya po we have stepped up our monitoring, and as I had mentioned, instead of random checking by the Compliance and Monitoring Department of PAGCOR, we will now have 24/7 PAGCOR representatives in all our licensees.
Thank you, Chairman Nak. Marami pong salamat, Chair.
Congressman Acop, so we will be proceeding to the next interpellator via Zoom. Congressman Plato, you are now recognized. We are giving you 2 minutes. Just a joke. Congressman Plato, you have the floor. Go ahead. Oh, nga pala. You have the monitor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for spearheading the motu proprio inquiry on the proliferation of criminal activities surrounding Philippine offshore gaming operators in our country. For starters, Mr. Chair, please allow me to express my view on the existence of legal POG in our country. I believe that the revenues collected from this operation pushes forward our economy, who is obviously in dire need of revenue resources. Local employment is also created and other industries benefit from legal POGO expansions. However, Mr. Chair, the criminal activities and social cost that surrounds the legal POGO seems to outweigh the gains. It is therefore, in my opinion, that criminal activities be eliminated to continue benefiting from the gains. Mr. Chair, how should it be done? May I hear the solution or suggestions from PAGCOR, DOJ, PNP, and POA? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Congressman Plato. That was like 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I am right. Oo nga. I'm sorry. You were asking pala questions sa DOJ. DOJ, Pagcor, Chairman Tenko, please.
Congressman Plato, sa ngayon po, what we have done nung pong July 2023 is to totally change the guidelines, the structure of the licenses, legal licenses of these internet gaming operators. And as this is a process that we know is evolving, meron po kaming mga karagdagang mga measures na amin pong gagawin immediately. Number 1, doon po sa menu ng pwedeng hinga ng lisensya, yung pong pagbibigay ng lisensya sa mga hubs or IGL hubs. Ang hub po parang isang township na, hindi na po, aalisin na po namin yung option na yon dahil hindi na po kami papayag na magkaroon ng mga IGL hubs. Pangalawa, we are going to, as I mentioned earlier, doon po sa katanungan ni Congressman Romy Acop, we will now designate members of the Compliance and Monitoring and Enforcement Group of PAGCOR 24/7 dito po sa mga legal licenses, nang sa ganon ay makita po namin kung ano ang mga ginagawa nila at kung meron mang mga criminal activities ay dali-dali nilang maiuulat sa amin. Pagkatapos po nun ay we are cooperating with law enforcement agencies, gayon din naman po ng iba't ibang mga government agencies, nang sa ganon ay patuloy kaming magpalitan ng mga iba't ibang impormasyon. Kami po ay nagbibigay sa kanila ng mga impormasyon kung ang mga license operators ay either suspended or canceled na. So, sa ngayon po, yun ang mga paniwala naming dapat pang gawin, nang sa ganon ay maging mas matatag ang pagmomonitor po dito sa natitirang halos 43 may lisensya na lamang. Congressman Plato. Sa side po yun ng PAGCOR.
Okay, DOJ, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Congressman, our strategy is to continue our approach of aggressive operations against illegal POGOs. But at the same time, we acknowledge that if we can't do it alone, yung mga 300 plus or 400 plus POGOs, unrealistic na expect natin na i-raid namin lahat yun. Kaya importante po na mag-recruit kami ng may ibang kasamaan sa interagency group namin. Naimbita na ang mga LGUs na tumulong at may mga LGUs nga na lumalapit na at tumutulong. Ngunit mas kailangan namin na mas aktibo pa talaga sila dito sa laban kontra illegal POGO. Bukod doon, nais din naming lapitan ng mga may-ari ng mga gusali at mga subdivision managers, no? Kasi alam naman natin na madaming mga illegal na gawain sa mga POGO na to ay nangyayari sa kanilang mga property. So maganda sana nakasama din sila sa laban at the very least mag-provide ng mga initial leads para sa mga operation. At pangatlo, yun, hindi nga realistic na pure raid lang, bukod sa magastos to, bukod sa masalimuot, kailangan tayo maghanap ng mga softer approaches. Kaya inaanyayahan namin ang mga LGU, ang PAGCOR, ang DOLE na i-adopt ang kanilang visitation powers. Gamitin ang kanilang visitation powers upang maipasok ang mga natitirang mga POGOs or IGLs at makita kung may nangyayari dong mga mali. So ang approach natin ay hindi tayo laging makaka-raid, ano? At hindi naman natin masasara kaagad ang mga POGO, but kung kaya natin ma-disrupt ang mga operations sa mga iba-ibang POGO dito, baka kusa na lang silang tumigil at umuwi, no? Kasi alam naman nila na hindi maganda para sa negosyo nila ang atmosphere dito sa Pilipinas. So yun lang po.
Okay, Congressman Plato, please. PNP din. PNP.
Sir, on the part of the PNP, we would recommend magkaroon sana ng interagency task force aside from the IACAT. Itong task force na ito will comprise kami from the PNP, mga agencies na may mga visitorial powers, and the task force shall not only limit at the national level, dapat sila din sa LGU level, gumawa din sila ng local task force to go after this POGO-related, yung illegal POGO-related na mga activities. Thank you, sir.
Ating SDS was saying about the task force that was mentioned by the President.
Yeah, last Friday in Pampanga.
So there was a declaration of the President that a task force that will be headed by the DILG.
I think the ILG, yeah.
Will be created in order to abate this problem that is confronting our nation. Okay, so Congressman Plato, you still have 8 minutes. Question? Okay na po ba?
Isa pa, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, isa na lang po.
Napuputol-putol ka po. So, thank you po. Congressman Plato, you still have the monitor. Go ahead.
Isa na lang po, Mr. Chair. Torture videos were shown, and I agree as suggested, manifested by our good friend, Congressman Shea Alonso. But I also agree with Representative Gomez that it is important for us to watch to fully understand the extent of the human rights violation and other violations involving POGO for us to do our part as representatives of the people. Can I request, Mr. Chair, for an executive session for this purpose of viewing the videos? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Approve, Congressman Plato. Maraming po salamat, Congressman Plato. On Tuesday, we will be having a executive session on that purpose.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
quick manifestation. I wish to defer the invitation to PSA, LTO, and DFA until the articles of incorporation and the GIS of all the illegal POGOs are submitted to the committee.
Okay, so we will not be inviting anymore yet, the agency that was mentioned, because rightly we have to get first the articles of incorporation of those illegal companies. operating POGOs. Before I recognize Congressman Castro, Congressman Barbers.
Just a quick manifestation as well, Mr. Chairman. Gagaya nung winidraw na invitation, may I just ask maybe PAGCOR to submit to the committee you have copies of the SEC registration and documents submitted to PAGCOR by these legitimate POGO operators, correct?
You're talking of legitimate, yung legal po?
Yung legal, yung
Opo,
45, 45 ba?
43 po sa 45 po.
Yeah, including those that were issued special BPO
Opo.
something. So yeah,
We have a complete file on...
are they all corporations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you submit to the committee copies of the documents they submitted to PAGCOR?
Sir, Your Honor, do you want all documents or just the articles of
Just the
incorporation?
GIS or the
Yes.
GIS na lang.
We will
Yung
do
latest.
that. We will do that.
Okay, thank you, Chairman.
Welcome, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Congressman Lara?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Modification lang po dun sa invitation ng administrator ng mga economic zone to include former past administrator kasi baka mangyayari ituturo lang kasi continuing lang yan.
From what period? Para specific tayo.
From the time na meron yung POGO siguro.
20, kailan ba nag-start ng POGO, Al?
2016 po.
O yun, from 2016, the administrator of the economic zone from 2016 to the present.
Yes, so
Okay.
sa lahat ng economic zone na lang.
CESA, CESA, tapos Aurora and Bataan.
And Bataan. Kung pwedeng patawag na rin ang PESA.
Okay. No. Because, kasi under, before nasa kanila eh. Okay.
Yeah.
Sige, okay, we'll be proceeding to the...
Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Lara. So, Congressman Castro, are you still about to interpolate? This will be the last
na to,
interpolator.
Mr. Chair. Ika-conclude ko
bear
lang,
with us.
Mr. Chair. Thank you po. May second pa si ni Kong Akop. Meron kasing statement ang NSC, Mr. Chair, National Security Council, that the Philippine offshore gaming operators or POGO is still not a national security threat, according to NSC official, believing now that the issue is handled pretty well by the government. So, narinig po natin yung sitwasyon doon sa POGO, sitwasyon na sinabi po ng PAGCOR, sinabi po ng PAOK, task force, at syempre yung sinasabi ng DOJ na very complicated, napakahirap, no? And also the PNP. So, ang tanong ko lang po sa NSC, Mr. Chair, paano niyo po nasabi ito na na-handle ito ng government ng pretty well? Kasi nakita naman natin na mukhang hindi.
Thank you, ma'am, for your question. Mr. Chair, Your Honors, good afternoon. Ma'am, with regards to your concern, of course, I would like to clarify the mandate of the National Security Council. At this point, ma'am, our primary mandate is to collect and synthesize data, which...
Can you speak louder, please?
My apologies, sir. Our primary mandate is to collect and to synthesize data and correspondingly make recommendations based on the facts that we have received. So, as we speak, we are in close coordination with the concerned agencies regarding their various concerns and other matters that need to be brought to the attention. We agree that it is a concern, but as the National Security Advisor has mentioned, we have not yet considered it a threat because a threat involves military intervention, ma'am, and heightened measures, which at this point are not yet warranted. So what we are doing right now is we are collecting and cooperating with our partner agencies, and on the basis of that, we will be making a recommendation, policy recommendation, which involves, as you know, ma'am, the problem is very wide. The problem involves a whole-of-nation approach. That is why this is a good step that we are in coordination with the concerned agencies for us to be able to come up with a concentrated solution, holistic solution, which we will forward to the President, ma'am. So sa ngayon po, ma'am, tulad nga ng nabanggit po ninyo, napakalaking problema ho talaga. So hindi po tayo pwedeng kara-karang gumawa lang ng policy na hindi po natin napag-aaralan ng maigi. So ito nga ho, pagkakataon po ito para makapag-usap po tayo and malaman po natin ang lahat po ng anggulo. Tandaan niyo po, ma'am, hindi lang ho ito security. May economic concern, may social concern. Marami po siyang aspeto na kailangan pag-aralan.
Well,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you po, sir. Thank
Yes,
you po sa NSC. Pero sinasabi natin, kasi kayo naman po talaga yung concern sa national security, no? At sinasabi dito na may mga, ito sa Cagayan, may mga pogo talaga na malapit na doon sa mga EDCA. Do you confirm that? EDCA sites? So ano po yung sinasabi ng intelligence nyo tungkol dyan po?
Ma'am, I am not privy to that information, ma'am.
Yes, so di kayo privy po, kaya kaya sinasabi natin na wala pa kayong malalim na pag-aaral, no? Doon sa security threat, no, na idudulot nitong Pogo. Tama po ba?
Ma'am, through the National Intelligence Board, we are coordinating with our partner agencies. And we're in the process of gathering all of the concerned information. So we are hoping, ma'am, that that data will become available to us shortly.
Yes, oo. So matagal na po ito 2016 pa ito, panahon ni Duterte. Kaya hindi naman mangyayari itong mga nangyayari ngayon na pinoproblema natin kung hindi dahil doon sa panahon ni Duterte na pinayagan niya yung mga pogo na malegalize, na mas marami pang illegal, na hindi na nadidetect ng mga enforcers natin. Ngayon lang nangyayari na nandiyan yung 407. So parang hindi siya na-handled well mula nung panahon po ni Duterte at hanggang ngayon nakikita naman natin, di ba? So kung kayo po yung magre-recommend based dito sa usapan natin ng NSC, so ano po kaya may papayo ninyo halimbawa kay Presidente kaugnay nitong mga pogo na ito, NSC, Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, definitely, as I mentioned, the illegal pogos are a national security concern. Marami po siyang galamay sa maraming aspeto ng lipunan po natin. So, based on that, ma'am, we are in the process of doing our information gathering and information analysis and come up, as you know, ma'am, it's a dynamic process. Marami pa ho tayong nadidiskubre on a day-to-day basis. So based on that, ma'am, rest assured that we will provide the body with our findings based on our ongoing consultations with our stakeholders, ma'am.
Yes, Mr. Chair, bakit po ba ako concerned sa national security? Kasi hindi ito pwedeng ibig sabihin masukat, no? Hindi ito pwedeng masukat ng pera or whatever. Pero yung economic at pati na rin, Mr. Chair, yung mga crimes, di ba? Hindi rin ito pwedeng masukat, kung ano nagiging implication nito. Pero malaki yung implication nito economically. I mean yung gastos natin sa paghabol ng mga illegal na mga alien, ng mga illegal pogo workers, yung paggastos natin po doon sa, halimbawa, doon sa national security, doon sa national security threat. Pag nag-cost effective po tayo, nag-cost analysis, no? Po tayo, yung revenues, plus yung employment, versus the social problems, yung crime, yung national security threat, and all the things na napag-usapan natin dito, parang mas malaki pa talaga yung talo natin kaysa yung payagan natin. Kasi imagine nyo lang, Mr. Chair, ang revenue natin dito, 8 billion. Kung isasama natin yung penalty na 232 million, kung yan yung titignan natin na amount, no? Plus yung employment, kasi I have still to verify itong employment na ito, kung totoo ba talaga to na more than, Mr. Chair, more than 31,000 Filipinos are employed as against sa foreign na 35,000. So gusto kong kumuha yun ng data mamaya sa PAGCOR, Mr. Chair. Kung i-analyze po natin, Mr. Chair, yung yung dulot na sama nito kaysa buti sa ating bansa. So natitimbang po natin na mas malaki ang masamang nangyayari. Okay? So katulad niyan, sa halip na napapagtuunan natin ng pansin yung iba pang mga bagay on security, no? Dito tayo, no? Dahil nandito yung mga pogo. Kaya nga po, Mr. Chair, talagang kami po sa Makabayan ay talagang on the position na talagang iban na talaga itong mga pogo na ito at marami naman tayong mapapagkuhanan ng iba pang mga na iba pang mga revenues kasi kawawa naman yung PNP at yung ating mga enforcement bagamat sila yung in charge dito hindi rin naman din nila kaya at yung mga resources natin nadideplete lang dito yung revenue na natin nakukuha madideplete lang dito at abonado pa po tayo no kung i-weigh natin o ibabalance natin. Okay? So, kay Yusek Gilbert na po, no? Sa palagay niyo pa po ba, Yusek Gilbert, Chairman, ano po kaya ang marirecommend ninyo kay President in the light no, sa mga nangyayaring ganito po?
This is a hybrid group of criminals, ma'am. Yun ang nakita ko po dito. Organized sila, and then they are foreigners assuming yung Filipino identities So, kaya ang tawag ko sa kanila parang hybrid criminals, ma'am. Kinukuha nila yung identity natin and they even get yung benefits na dapat sa Pilipino. Like, they even avail of the PhilHealth cards. Yung sa mga pogo na nakukuha namin, may mga PhilHealth cards sila, driver's license, and other benefits na supposed to be para sa Pilipino. And yung kinakasangkutan nila, starting na mga krimen, are no ordinary crimes like human trafficking, kidnapping, prostitution, murder. Marami po yung pinag-uusapan, especially ni Congressman Ako po kanina, about the numbers of crimes na nangyayari. Totoo po yun na may mga patayan po na nangyayari. And if these crimes exist, dahil meron po mga pogo dyan, how can we attract foreign investors if they can see foreigners being killed here? And then hindi naman nakakatanggap ng tamang hustisya.
Yes, so marirecommend niyo po. Iban natin to.
In my opinion, ma'am, I go for the banning of Pogo.
Okay. So, thank you po, Yusek Gilbert. So, nakita po natin kasi no, yung epekto nito dun sa ating, dun sa ating bansa. Kaya, Mr. Chair, no, problema talaga itong mga Pogo na ito. At more harm than good yun ang nangyayari sa atin. At kung hindi ito sinimulan nung dating administrasyon, wala talaga tayong problemang ganito. Tama po ba? So yun po no yung Mr. Chair, okay na po ako. Pero gusto ko pong kuhanan ng data ang PAGCOR kasi parang unbelievable itong number of employees dito sa IGL, number of Filipino employees each of the licensed Pogo, revenue since 2019, at saka yung mga addresses and ito yung mga addresses po nito, pwede pong makuha. So, next, na lang po ako sa next hearing na po, Mr. Chair. Hindi na pong tanong.
Congresswoman Castro, we will turn over those documents to you. Salamat.
Okay, thank you so much, Congressman Franz Castro. And thank you I was able to convince Congressman Akop not to interpellate anymore because it's already 5:30. Thank you so much, Congressman Akop, for that. In the first hour of the hearing next week, you will be the first to interpellate. Anyway, before we end, would like to thank everybody, on behalf of the Committee of Public Order and Safety. Kanina pinadala ni Chairman, Co-Chair, yung galing sa PORAC. So ang value po, market value ng Lucky South is kalating bilyon. Property, land and building, 515,737,240. Yung land po is 80,124,000 at yung building 435 million. 435 million yung construction ng building.
Ilang buildings yun?
Ilang buildings yun? 46 buildings yun, ha?
Parang 10 million per building. Under budget na.
Oo nga. Ilang buildings to?
As per record po, 42 buildings po, Your Honor.
Oh, 42 buildings tapos 435 million lang yung inyong construction?
10 million lang.
Ina-undervalue nyo to. Mayor, assessor muna. Hindi,
The
pero
assessor is not available, Mr. Chair. This is the figures that we gathered from the municipal assessor, Mr. Chair.
we gathered from?
From the municipal assessor, Mr. Chair. As soon as you gave instructions.
Sige, we'll be asking the
we
municipal
contacted.
assessor to explain this, no? Next
Yes,
time,
Mr. Chair. Thank
I
you
will
po.
be inviting them
Thank you very much, Mr.
over, no? And at the same time, kasi ako talaga meron pa kaming tanong dalawa ni Co-Chair kasi wala na po tayong oras. Pero basically, ang itatanong ko lang naman, kakonti lang naman to, mga 20 pages lang. But siguro kasi nagsimula tayo nung May 2023 pa lang, nagsimula na tayong magkaroon ng mga search warrant para dito sa illegal pogos. And then hanggang makarating tayo dito sa pinaka-controversial na Lucky South 99 sa PORAC, saka yung sa yung Sun Yuan nung sa Banban Tarlac. So basically, meron ng kaso ang pinailang PAOK TF saka ang DOJ regarding this matter, no? And nakulate na rin nila tong mga list ng mga licenses na na-canceled. So andito na sa atin yon ngayon. We have like kanina nga ilan lang naman po yung mga LGUs that we need to ask to help us. Andito ang Zambales, andito Pasay, andito Las Piñas, andito Zamboanga, Cebu, Tarlac, Taguig, Pasig, Quezon City, Palawan, Mandaluyong, Misamis, Manila, Misamis Oriental, Muntinlupa, La Union City, Negros Occidental, Laguna, Makati, Parañaque, Pampanga, and Cavite. Kasama tayo pareho. So, we will be asking the help of our LGUs in order to finalize the closure of all of this illegal pogos. We need your cooperation. The DILG, PAOK, DOJ, PAGCOR. Kaya natin to. Isang buwan, pasara natin to, mga kapatid. Okay? With the help of this of the members of this committee of the Public Order and Safety and Game and Amusement. So before we end, reminder sa mga members, we will be having a ocular inspection doon po sa Lagundi, Mexico, Pampanga. The agency that will be invited is the PAOK,